This is a video about the new Homicide Gang mixtape, Fifth Amendment. This title is really fitting because if anybody asked me if I listened to this mixtape, I'd be really embarrassed. So I would say, I plead the fifth. So this is technically, I think this is Homicide Gang's first ever mixtape, technically, which is kind of weird considering that mixtapes normally come out first and then they do albums, but Homicide Gang has had 2 albums. So, it's already pretty unconventional and kind of weird. Even for something like Opium, In Opium, the label owned by Playboi Carti, which features Homicide Gang, Destroy Lonely, and Ken Carson, Homicide Gang always felt like an outlier to me. Like, Ken and Lone and Carti all fit really well in that mysterious vibe. But Homicide Gang are really open. They post a whole bunch. They talk a lot. They're more vocal than everybody. And I think they kind of don't fit in. Especially Bino. I don't know which one is which on this cover. But I'm pretty sure it's Bino is the one who has the really whack verses, right? Yeah. Bino kind of sounds weird on a lot of these songs. This is 19 tracks. It's short runtime. It's not super long. I don't think it overstayed its welcome or anything. But it felt like he took over a lot of the tracks, and he does that on every single Homicide Gang release, and that I really don't like that. I want to see Michi have more playing time in these albums and tapes. And the intro was actually pretty cool. I did like these first few songs. They were all pretty good. I liked the verse from Problem Child, who is in jail right now, I'm pretty sure, for some sort of alleged homicide, I believe. Frozone, though, kind of killed that kind of streak. It was a headache-inducing beat to me. I didn't really like this song. Again, Bino just overtaking it. I don't really like him so far. Like, I liked him on Homicide Lifestyle. That album was great. But it is kind of wearing on me now. And What It Is, which is produced by Pureborn, but it hasn't featured for whatever reason, came out a couple weeks ago, I think on the 13th, maybe? I can't remember. But it came out a couple weeks ago as a single. It's not that good. I don't think it's bad, but I just think it's not anything really special about it. It's a okay beat, I feel like. But Pierre, first of all, I haven't even heard Pierre on a beat in like over a year, just to start. And I feel like he's getting worse, kinda. He hasn't really shown any talent or anything, I don't think, recently. But that's just me. I want to talk about Bonjour specifically, or Five Bonjour, or whatever. I don't even know why it's called that. I assume it's in reference to, Bonjour, the French greeting, but this song just sounds like, Homicide Gang, Michi and Bino, and whoever else were in the studio, and they were like, what if we took everything that made Stoddard not bad, or not as good as it could have been, and everything that X by Ken Carson was mid for, and put them into one song? That's what Bonjour sounds like to me. It's really bad. Even though it's only 2 minutes, it feels way longer than that. And the only good thing about it is Michi, which is the case for like a lot of these songs, I want to say. And on this album, there was a few like songs that sounded more like late 2010s like SoundCloud rap kind of songs, and Home Invasion was the first one of those that had a lot more upbeat production, and I kind of started to like that. It grew on me a little bit. But Screw wasn't that great, not super interesting, not bad, but it didn't really do anything for me particularly. And track 11, Rounds, is probably my favorite song on this tape. It has a really nice beat. It kept me engaged, and Michi had a really good performance on this song as well. Designer Drugs, there's nothing really to that song at all. There's several songs on here where it's like not even bad, it's just so forgettable. Like when I listen to Teenage Emotions by Lil Yachty or Speeding Bullet to Heaven by Kid Cudi, I'm like, this is terrible, This is just kind of like, it's so meh, and it sounds like a lot of the stuff that we heard before on other Homicide Gang releases. It is kind of annoying. And Road Rage is a really big, bassy kind of mosh pit song, and for that, it's good. I'll say that much about it. But a lot of those songs that are just for the pit, you can tell the song is meant to be performed. It's not great aside from that. You know what I mean? And Left Hand is another one of those poppy sounding songs that I was talking about earlier. And this is one of the better songs on this tape, probably. Really, really nice, solid. But I'm not going to say the name of this song because I don't like saying that. But, this song, track 15, it sounds just like Air. And not in the good way. Like Nothing Was the Same by Drake sounds like Air. This just sounds like air. Like it just goes in one of my ears and leaves the other. I don't remember this song at all. Like there's some of these songs I remember kind of like what they are, but this song, track 15, is I know not I can't remember a single thing about it. If I'm being honest, it really wasn't that good at all. It just sounds like nothing entering my ear. I don't know why. It's just bad. And it follows it up with some more mid with 25-8, which is a stupid title. First of all, it's just kind of dumb. And this song, the beat can't even decide what it wants to be here. The beat's badly mixed. Like it's pretty terrible. Like, you know, in my head I have a kind of idea of what I want to give this album or this tape right now. But like seeing about how many bad songs are on here, I want to go lower, but I'll talk about that in a second. In my notes for ecstasies, I just put if looks could kill, Michi's version, because this sounds like a song from Looks Could Kill, but done actually better in my opinion. I think this is actually pretty good. It has the guitars like from If Looks Could Kill. I thought it was really cool. It could have been cool if Lone was featured on this actually. That would have been actually pretty cool. Because Homicide Gang just doesn't do features aside from, you know, somebody who's locked up. Now to the penultimate track, EU, which I assume is a reference to Europe, unless it's something I'm not getting there. It sounds like a beat off Flawless Like Me by Lucky, which came out last year. And I really didn't like that album. It was really just lazy and all that compared to everything else from Lucky. And, you know, his recent run really hasn't been that good, if I'm being honest. And the closer, Homicide Gang Business. Nothing really of substance again. To close this tape, you know, feels like Homicide Gang being an outlier in Opium. They're like, because they're like probably the least popular of them. I'm pretty sure. Let me look at this. 3 million, 6 million. Yeah. So Homicide Gang is the least popular member of Opium right now, and it just feels like they're still trying to like prove to themselves that they're something they're not. I mean, I don't want to discredit them as artists because they have a lot of really good songs I like. Like I said, the Homicide Lifestyle album that came out last year was really, really good. But there's just something really weird about Homicide Gang. Like, they're trying too hard. And that's not to say that other artists don't do that in Opium. Like, I feel like Lone tries too hard sometimes. Especially recently with his last album. But I feel like they'd be better. I'm not saying I want them to go back. I'm sure that they like the style they're in now. But this just doesn't feel like it really falls in line, everything-wise, with Opium, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really know. This is definitely not as good as A Great Chaos. I can say that much. Like, there's good songs on here I like. It's not as bad as If It Looks Could Kill, though. That was a bad album. I don't think this is a terrible album. It was just like, you know, the same kind of beats and stuff that we heard on Snot or Not, but worse. And then, like a random, like, SoundCloud rap kind of sounding beat mixed with Rage Stone in here every, like, 5 songs. And I do like that they switched up the style. They're trying to be more bright and poppy, I guess. But I really don't like it. Like, it's executed really poorly. It's really weird to me. Because I really do like these guys. But these last two, I gave Snot or Not an 8. And then, in retrospect, I've kind of repositioned all of my ratings recently. And I moved it down to a 7. Because I thought it was good, but it wasn't great. If I'm going to look at the track list again, there's some really good songs on here. Like, Flights Booked, To The Face, Blockwork, obviously, Uzi Work. It's not super memorable, but I didn't think it was. I thought it was alright, pretty good. But this is definitely worse than that. And, you know, you think after all the bad stuff I've said about it, like, there's some really bad songs on here. I almost want to give it a 5, but I don't think it's just dead mid. I think there is some songs I like on here, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Weak performance from Homicide Gang, man. I don't know why they're not. I feel like they're not putting their fullest effort in. You know, I can't speak for them, but just from an outside in, the least I can say is that this isn't for me, personally. It would have been cool if Lone worked on his album longer and then dropped it around Halloween. But yeah, that's pretty much it.